morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne, and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings for today. Today's featured sun sign is the sign of Taurus as I go around my zodiac wheel in order. We're on mid-month readings now, and today is January 14th, 2021, 2 weeks into the new year. So yes, Taurus, beautiful. I will be picking, and Spirit will obviously help me to pick your highlighted connection, which is really predominantly to share 3 extra messages with you under 3 major categories. And so that particular highlighted connection for today for Taurus, whoops, fell right off there. 3's a charm. Well, I'm not able to do Pisces because I just did featured, the highlighted was the featured for yesterday's Aries. So interesting. Watery element, watery emotional elements are out there in the world. I think I can understand that. I'm sure you can too. Let's try again. Went right back to it. If it does it again, I'm going to have to actually do it. There we are on Taurus. Well, I normally do this in front of you so you understand it's fresh off the press, as they say, and the one that Spirit really needs for you to get messages about. So let's really focus now. And you have Leo. Okay, we're going to go with Leo. Leo was a couple days ago. We're good. This is a very strong and powerful dual connection. I see it often, and it's just one of those things that I'll explain a little further. But so yes, for those that are new, my format is I pick a featured sun sign and then a random spiritually guided highlighted for the day for 3 extra messages. I then finish the reading with 3 oracle divination messages. These messages are for all Tauruses as the featured sign and every single zodiac sign in connection with you. Because not everybody watching, not all Taurians want necessarily to hear about the highlighted connection of Leo, though I bet a lot of you do. As I said, in my lifetime, in my own personal life, and certainly through the studies I've done over 30 years, this is a very, very common, beautiful energy and connection. So, the Taurus is a earth element. Now, Taurus, right now, we have Uranus stationing direct, and it's in your sign. So it's been retrograde for like 4 months or so. This is powerful. This is big, and it actually went into your sign last year, but it will remain in your sign, Taurus, for about 6 more years. I think it's 7 years or so per sign. It's a slower moving planet, but it's very, very potent, and we definitely feel the effects. And when we're talking about Uranus, we're talking about unpredictability, surprises, out of the box, futuristic thinking, things that are super helpful, super transformational for everybody. In your sign, though, the thing that really comes up, just bubbles up right now for me, is definitely finances. You are an earth sign that is very, very set and dedicated to resources, finances, stability, luxury, beauty, all the things that life can bring, because you are ruled by Venus, and that's what Venus represents. The beauty, the Venetian, the feminine quality that allows us to feel and to nurture, the parts of ourselves we love, the things we taste, feel, sense, all the senses are really strong with a lot of Tauruses. Being in touch with your feminine side as well as your masculine is such an important part of every one of us, because we each have both in us. When there's that balance, it's a much more peaceful and calming energy. And we are in the Capricorn season right now, and that's your fellow earth sign. So I think right now, a lot of Tauruses should be kind of feeling relaxed, down to earth. You love the natural, raw aspects of life. You love the tangible things you can feel. You equate a lot of times your success to what you've accomplished, what you've bought, what you can see around you, right? Not to say you're not spiritual, because you absolutely are, but your main claim to fame is the incredible, I wrote down a few specifics. And first of all, you are extremely resourceful. So you can make a dollar stretch a long way. And that's a gift. That truly is a gift. People turn to you a lot of times for advice regarding money, or that may be a career direction you're in. Many times that's a noted career choice for a lot of Tauruses in the financial field. You're definitely patient. You are a fixed sign. You are so determined. You are diligent. You have great willpower. You have raw creativity. You are just, it oozes out of your pores. You just have this ability to create and a lot of times your body part that the Taurus rules as the symbolic bull is the throat. So many times there are many Taurans whose careers revolve around singing, speaking, social media, podcast, YouTube. I mean, you have a very, very magnetic and beautiful voice that people, tend to want to listen to. You incite people to feel good, and you encourage them. So there's great talent, there's sensuality with you that cannot be mistaken. Sometimes it's, within, and it's deep, and it's not necessarily outwardly shown, but it's there. Oh, is it ever? And you are, like I said, incredibly drawn to beauty and things that are aesthetically nice looking, and definitely nature and beautiful gardens and the natural things you can get your hands in the soil and build your life, plant those seeds and watch them patiently grow, right? You understand the cycles. You are very in tune with, once again, nature and just how the sun rises, the moon, all the different things that happen on a natural basis. You are so inclined to be very in tuned, and I would say psychic. I definitely am psychic, very, very intuitive many times. And you're very generous. You care a great deal for those you love. Your loyalty is beautiful, and you have friends for life when you have a Taurus in your life. So I love that a lot. And the other really important thing is that Mars, the very fiery and, combative sometimes, but just aggressive, fiery, ambitious planet has gone into your sign as well, Taurus. I think it was last week. It had been Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. It was in it's exalted in Aries, and it feels, like it makes more sense in a lot of ways. It's more compatible, I would imagine, but it's good in any sign because it gives you that drive. It brings back that motivation that may have been, dormant for a little bit, like this past year for a lot of us. And you are raring to go. You've got that influence working with you and keeping you moving forward, giving you that momentum you need. And you have, Uranus, who's going to bring in some amazing changes in our lives and your life. Some are going to be amazing, and then last year's was one that kind of took everybody off guard, right? I don't think, this is general, I think a large percentage of Tauruses who have had this innate ability to work and to manage their money, they probably had it invested in such a way, or they had enough saved for a rainy day that they weren't necessarily affected like a lot of us, even if you lost a job. But you still like to work, you still like to see the results, and so I think you're right back at it. And maybe more opportunities than ever with this Uranus up and down kind of thing. With everything, when it's down, the only way is up. So I feel like that's what's happening this year, specifically, as we move forward and steady. And then, of course, this beautiful highlighted connection of Leo. Well, there you have the fire element. So between the earth and the fire and the strength of you two, these are the most powerful, some of the most powerful astrology signs, in the zodiac, with the Leo being ruled by the sun and just, all about vitality, all about energy, all about creativity, all about passion, all about drive and momentum and, ego and leadership and confidence and all the things that you two exhibit in just different forms, right? Some are more spirited, you're more down to earth about it, but it all works. It's all very complementary is how I like to say in regards to the two of you. The only thing is of course being able to allow each other to speak and to express themselves, you know, in a fashion that would be on a fair basis. You know, we don't want one or the other too much in charge. You have to find that balance. That's done a lot because there's this real true love for each other and respect that you see in your drive, in your ability to create and to make things happen the way you do. You can be extremely useful for each other and helpful to each other in the romantic sense or in a business sense, certainly in friendships. It's a long-term, beautiful, loving connection. It is a fixed sign as well with this Leo, so you both totally get it. When you come up with something and you make that commitment to yourselves, you're in it for the long haul. This is a permanent type of relationship. And you will do whatever you can to make it right. There's fun, there's adventure, and there's a lot of learning and growing that can be done with the two of you. So I love this, I really do. And so let's read the messages that Spirit has to say under the three major categories for this highlighted connection of Leo and Taurus. Yeah, this is a good time though. This is where you kind of really are just more or less, I would say, relaxing. The energy isn't about fast forward movement, but I do want to mention, oh my gosh, how could I forget? The new moon in Capricorn, also incredibly complementary to you, Taurus. This is what, like every new moon, it's about putting down your intentions and fully believing and just trusting the direction you want to go and just allowing it. You know, that's the words that I'm trying to listen and speak in a way that just, it's simple, but it's so powerful. And the new moon actually lasts usually a couple days before, a couple days after, and onward. Not to mention, we still have the influences of the eclipses from last November, December. And I mean, they're going to have two more coming up in June, I believe it, May, June, and then again in December. Onward, continuous story. Those eclipses affect our higher learning, our education, our wanting to expand our minds, to grow, to continue, to change. You know, change is not something Taurus is necessarily like, but they do it. They just do it a little slower. It takes them a little longer to adapt. You know, they prefer things to be more routine, more, you know, predictable. And that's something that's going to be something that I believe you're really going to be taught this year, is that you are going to be more open to the unconventional, to the things that you may not have thought of before, as we all are. But I think you're really going to feel excited about it and willing to do so. And then you have this connection with the Leo, who's going to be right there and just, you know, supporting and backing you up. And when they're on your team, boy, you're it. I mean, you're part of their kingdom, right? They are the king of the castle. So you're welcome in, and like with you, this is it's gorgeous. So the first category is always the overall energy that brought you to the reading, and these are the mid-month readings. So I always like to suggest that if you are new or returning, check back on the beginning of the month readings, because a lot of times you'll see that they're similar and then growing and progressing from that message to even more, you know, proof or realization that yes, you are on this particular path. Yes, you are given this guidance. Yes, you can do it. Basically, these are uplifting messages. These are messages about love and all different types of connections. That's what I promote on this channel. It is what matters to me and to life more than anything else, is that ability to love, to give, you know, and receive. To be vulnerable to that and allow that vulnerability in. So the first category is, wow, this was yesterday's, it's repeated, but no, it's not, because yesterday was a 10. You have the 9 of Swords. Well, Swords are the air element. Now, by the way, I just started this deck this mid-month as of yesterday. This is the OK Tarot. It's not perfect, it's just okay. I wanted to go with something simplistic. I like it a lot for the energies that are here, and especially for you, Taurus, because you can find beauty in anything. And I find that you are a more natural, simplistic person, you know, at the root of you, even if you're surrounded by all the luxury from all the heart work that you've done. So, but either way, it's a gorgeous deck. And the Nine of Swords is the element of air. We have, right now, we are still in Capricorn season, but it will then go into the sun season of Aquarius. We had the huge conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter on the 21st of December in Aquarius. We will then have, at some point, not too far away from the beginning of Aquarius season, Mercury Retrograde at the end of the month. Prepare for that. I'm starting to feel it. My speech is definitely a little bit more jumbled and a little hard to come into words. Part of the process of Mercury Retrograde. Knowing that is helpful. So I don't think there's something else going on. But in transportation, of course, you don't want to go jump into contracts necessarily. Sometimes you just have to. And you know that'll end up having to redo something. I mean, it's not the end of the world. These particular times of Mercury retrogrades for everybody is a reminder and a time to review. You know, it's a beautiful blessing. Don't do something, you know, rash. Don't do something that you're going to end up regretting. Check it out. You know, it's going to slow things down for you anyway, so take advantage of that. Take some time off, if not physically, mentally, to just kind of double check things, revisit, you know, reevaluate. I always say all the re's, and then you'll be good to go. And so that's approaching, but forgive me, I digress. The air elements are about words, thoughts, communication, and, you know, the mind, basically. That is how air elements usually, you know, live, all through the mind and how they think and then in turn express. And, you know, they love to learn and communicate and write and in all different forms of communication. And you have the Nine of Swords. So basically this is the end of a cycle, because yesterday we had the 10 with yesterday's sign, and that is the new cycle where all things start. This is the ending, so you're basically done with the I want to say, the difficulties, the confusion, the contradictions, the deception, you know, when it comes to conversations or the clarity of them. Well, I know we all can relate to that in some form. And as I always say every day, please do yourself a favor and kind of limit that energy as best you can, because it can be overwhelming. It can create blocks into your own thinking because you're taking on so much from the exterior. If it's internally, specifically for you, allow yourself this time with the new moon and the intentions to do so, to stop, to rethink, and to just begin again in a way that feels far more at peace, far more stable and truthful. And so that's exactly what it's saying. You have had your share of, I would just say, complete confusion, even loss of sleep is what comes to mind. You know, just constant thoughts that you're not even sure of why you're thinking them, and you're not sure of how to stop. So nature comes into mind for Taurus and Leo. Both of you love nature. Taking a break and revisiting how you yourself are speaking and communicating. How are you coming across to others and your relationship? Listening to each other, allowing each other to speak, not necessarily agreeing on anything, but agreeing to disagree is kind of where I'm coming from with that. And knowing that, you know, all of the doubts, they're all going to be brought to light. The truth is coming through little by little. And it's going to take some time, but we're going to reach a place where that will occur, and that we can feel okay with differences. You know, we can allow differences and yet feel a sense of harmony and peace within ourselves, if nothing else. So that is what your first category and message is. And your second is going to be the possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Page of Cups. So this is about love. This is about emotion. The pages are always messengers. They are the beginnings, the kind of naive, the more green around the edges as far as relationships perhaps, maybe this one, maybe a child, maybe the thought and talks and conversations about having a child. Maybe you're ending a cycle of confusion about that and now you've made your choices and it's on and you're excited. And it's all from the beautiful elements and energies that are coming forth to help you. This is about Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces energies. You may have that in your chart. You may be around that in addition to this connection, this highlighted connection, or you have a child with that energy or, astrological sign. Maybe they'll be born in the next couple of months. Next month, latter part of February would be Pisces, June, July is Cancer, and of course, October, November is Scorpio. But yes, love, emotion, creativity, just the beginning of something that could be a lifetime of amazing fulfillment. Allowing that in, being vulnerable, that's beautiful. It's a far cry from the Nine of Swords, where there's just a lot of too much thought. We need to go to our hearts. We need to really focus on that heart chakra these days, and we're going to feel a lot better for it. I know I do. When you really purposely put attention on that. I'm an air sign, so I have a lot of thoughts that go on constantly. But I'm really focusing on this heart chakra, and it's helping me so much with everything I have to attend to, and there's a lot. So I love that for you. The third and final category is the finance. The finances are practical parts, the things you love, Taurus, and the things you want to help others with, and you want to, join forces with and build upon that, and it's also about your health. Health is essential when it comes to wealth. And I think a lot of you are, deciding that that's probably more important than it ever had been before, being safer than you have been before, looking into ways to, improve and getting your checkups. That's this time of year. In addition to all the other issues that are going out, it's just a normal, beautiful thing to do for yourself and feeling inspired to do so. So your messages for the two of you is the Ace of Swords. Wow. So we go from the 9, which is the end of the cycle of just a lot of confusion and deception and just not really sure what's happening, right? Not a lack of clarity, to complete, beautiful, total clarity. Ace, beginning, new start, new information. Could have to do with a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarian, having to do with your finances. Somebody handling that. You may not even know who it is. Or you may very well know somebody's offering you information, offering to help, offering you a job that would bring in better finances and stability. Also, it has to do with law. It has to do with institutions. It has to do with doctors. It has to do with health and checkups, as I said. So this is beautiful. This is a new start. This is the new moon influence still coming through. This is your belief in your ability to communicate and express yourself so that you can get through challenges and difficulties. And it's absolutely a beautiful, positive, uplifting message. So expect that to happen like we haven't for a long time, okay? And what a beautiful way to end this particular, reading for the highlighted connections, because you have a lot having to say that speaks of your mind and the thoughts that you create and the ability to change those. Then you have that beautiful energy coming through with love, which is more important than basically anything. So it overrides the confusion, and it really brings to the forefront your desire to want to communicate in your relationships, communicate in your life in general, and you're great at that, Taurus. That is a gift that you have. So I think you're really recognizing that, and you're going to put forth that energy to maybe utilize that more than you have ever. And, just that beautiful Aquarius energy of forward thinking, out of the box, entrepreneurial, science, medicine, freedom, all the gorgeous, beautiful aspects that Aquarius can bring to us. You know, kind of rebellious. So those are the messages. Now I'm going to finish, like I said, with the oracle messages that will be for all of the beautiful Tauruses out there. And every one of your connections in all zodiac signs. So if you haven't already subscribed, I would greatly appreciate that. I love the fact that people are subscribing and this channel is growing. YouTube requires it for me to get to another phase, you know. And I am offering readings. There is information. Well, right now there's a website. I'm sorry. There is a link below to email me. I will be doing probably 2 days a week right now, in addition to the other ones I do in my community and outside of YouTube. Yeah, we'll talk and let you know. Right now I'm doing a 55 special for 30-minute. I tend to do the Celtic Cross, so it's way more personal. And like I said, just email me if you're interested at all, and then I will give you information from there. And that would be fantastic. But anything you do as far as liking, subscribing, and sharing is extremely supportive and very, very appreciated. So thank you. So this is the Oracle of the Starseed Oracle. It is a beautiful oracle. I haven't been able to let it go. I started it last mid-month, and it's still hanging in there. There's a lot more messages I have yet to read for you. And so this is just for you, Tauruses, okay? I love the illustrations, and this is the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, and the illustrations are by Danielle Noel, and they're fabulous. And I really feel them. They reach you in a deep way. The message is forge, don't follow. Well, that sounds perfect to me. For you, Taurus, I mean, I think you are a leader. I always have felt that way about you. And it says, pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Wow, be the leader you wish you had. Interesting, huh? Look at this gorgeous picture. Look at the beautiful green in the background, which is nature, which is you, which is what you really represent. And, you know, being down to earth, grounded, we can rely on you, we can trust, we can feel a sense of stability with you. And you've got this beautiful woman just looking at it all in awe, because it's all of ours. We all are, you know, a part of this. We're all connected. And anyway, so let me read to you specifically what the book says under this wonderful message. Don't forge, don't follow. I've never read this one, by the way. That's why I want to keep this deck for a while, because it has a lot of beautiful, encouraging and loving messages. If you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way to be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. Well, this is about that beautiful, let's go forward, let's just see what happens energy with Aquarius. And you know, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is now in your sign, Taurus. So it's all very synchronistic for you, you know, waiting for you to take on and waiting to take it in and just embrace it and do what you got to do with it. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before. To go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all of those who feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. Well, that's what's going on, so by all means, you have every right to do so. There's no one on earth who comes close to processing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter, do it for those younger than you. Do it for the leaders who follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. Your starseed inquiry, how are you being called to forge rather than follow? How can you be the leader you wish you had? That says a lot. I'm going to let you just take it in, marinate, and just really sit with that, because it's beautiful, and it really, to me, resonates with who you are and what you stand for, Taurus. Even though you could be, laid back and, not necessarily needing to be in the limelight, we need to hear you. You need to be heard. There's a lot that you could really help this world with. And then the next beautiful oracle is the Wisdom of the Oracle, which I love. I brought it out, I don't know, a month or two ago. And this is Colette Baron Reed, such a beautiful woman and so knowledgeable in the spiritual world. So, yeah, I just like to pull one and just kind of read and use my intuition as to exactly what I think the message is for you, and you yourself can buy the book. Well, that sounds very much like you, Taurus. You're you tend to be very matter of fact, very routine, reliable, accountable. You do it by the book. And it doesn't mean you're not a leader, but I feel like because of that, it's just this need to just keep a sense of, harmony, calm, just, a beautiful sense of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the words. It's just, you do it by the book, and it works out, and it's number 11, and that is a master number, and that becomes 2. So it looks as though you lead the pack in this particular illustration. It looks as though you're not necessarily wanting to, divert from something that you feel is working. Why not, why fix what isn't broken kind of attitude. And yeah, that's a special message for you. So in addition to all the energies and things that will come forth and allow you to change and probably instigate that, you can still find a sense of calm and inner serenity in just doing things that you feel are the right way to do it, that you feel are honorable. Okay? So that's what I'm getting from that message for you. And I like it a lot, and it definitely makes sense to me. You are grounded and, definitely reliable soul. So then we have the beautiful super attractor manifestation message. One of my favorites. All about how we can feel the life that we choose. You do your hard work, you think all you want, you put down those intentions, but are you really feeling with the deepest part of you that you are worthy and you will make this occur? That's when it happens. That's the law. It has to be in congruency with, all the other feelings and thoughts. It can't be one and then the other, that doesn't make sense. And we do it without realizing. So this is just here to remind us of that. And I love it, and it works. And you can start small and check that out, but let's see what specific message is here for you. One of my favorites for you, because to me it's like a mantra or an affirmation that you could use for today and onward. As soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners, I redirect my power toward what I want. That's a simple but beautiful expression of the power of the law of attraction when you co-create and do just that. So I love that for you. I love this reading. I feel very, very positive for you. You have a lot of beautiful energies working with you. And I'm excited to hear if you want to ever share. If this is actually working in this way, let me know. And above all else, during this time and moving forward, always take time to care for yourself and love yourself. And it's so much better for everyone else, in the long run. And I care about you. So thanks again. Look forward to seeing you again or having you come back. Until next time, bye for now.